What's the most obscure opinion hill you're willing to die on? While I didn't end up hating the new Space Jam, I will die on the hill that all they needed to do after Space Jam 1 was literally find another star of another sport and go nuts. No one needed to wait 25 years for another basketball movie which at most would have been good as the last one, but was never going to be seen as better. Space Jam 2 should have come out around 2002-01 and been a soccer film starring David Beckham. Or an NFL film starring Tom Brady. Or Looney Tunes are in a Royal Rumble and need The Rock's help. But they've now pigeonholed themselves into being a basketball movie franchise as much as it is a Looney Tunes movie franchise. Whereas as I say arguably Space Jam should have been Looney Tunes 2 sports franchise. When you are at a picnic and you go through the food line and the napkins and utensils are at the beginning. That shit belongs at the end. I don't know what utensils I need, I don't know what food I'm having. It's a waste of utensils. And I don't want to hang on to extra shit while I'm filling my plate. Fuck. Paddocks with livestock in them should all have some form of shelter. Whether it is a tree canopy or structure big enough to fit the livestock in the paddock underneath to protect them from rain and sun. Billy the Kid escaped and actually died in 1950. Edit. This is getting a lot more attention than I thought it would, so I want to preface. I have not heard that podcast and had no idea there was one about this. Also, though excellent movies, I'm not basing this on the Young Guns movies, although everyone should watch them. It should be illegal to have bushes on curbs that obscure oncoming traffic. Classic rock is a specific time in music, not just older rock. Classic rock is mid-60s to early 80s. Nirvana and Soundgarden, not classic rock. That's grunge. The Cure and John Mellencamp are 80s. Just because they are old doesn't make them classic rock. Grout is the devil. It traps dirt when you clean, broom, or mop since all you're doing is pushing the dirt around and packing it inside. Cleaning grout is so laborious and often involves hard scrubbing with a singular brush. Every time I clean my kitchen I feel like Cinderella scrubbing the floor and I have to clean my shower tiles with a toothbrush to get the soap scum out. I hate grout. Wish we didn't need grout. I hate grout. I will not work for a company that doesn't post salary range in job description or discuss salary in the first interview. You have my resume, which is what I bring to the table. I deserve to know what you are offering up front. Lead was / is a major contributing factor to many of the issues with our modern society. Edit. Did not expect to end up at the top. This topic is basically always on my mind, for the many reasons throughout the replies. One thing no one has really mentioned yet is what was on some more news on the infrastructure episode. Here in the United States, we know basically exactly how many lead pipes we need to fix / replace, and we know how much it will cost. All this bullshit about the new infrastructure package, and they didn't put enough money in it to get the literal fucking poison out of our water. I honestly never stop thinking about how fucked we are, and how badly we fucked ourselves with lead. In season 1 episode 2 of The Simpsons, Bart the Genius, Bart swapped out his test answers with those of Martin Prince, and was then sent to a school for gifted children. After he outed himself as a cheat, he was sent back to Springfield Elementary, yet Martin didn't get to go to the school for gifted children. Yeah, a wizard did it. Yes, I'm wearing a Genius at Work t-shirt. Fuck you. Edit. Some great explanations in reply, but the fact that it wasn't addressed in the episode annoyed even 10-year-old at the time me. Don't dig at the butter. Just scrape it. Rule number 1 in life is that there are always exceptions and I can't be convinced otherwise. Edit. Rule applies to itself as necessary. There are exceptions to the rule. Bulletproof. Edit 2. A more practical application for this rule is in your day-to-day life, like at work. Sure, it may not be happy hour, but I work in the kitchen and my server likes me, so they give me the happy hour discount. Rules exist but are not set in stone because of the human variable. We have the freedom, or illusion of freedom depending on how you feel, to do things as we see fit in the moment. It's that nothing is really set in stone aspect that makes me place this rule in my #1 slot. Grape Ape is 100% a kaiju, as is Clifford the Big Red Dog. The album for a live musical is not a soundtrack, it's a cast recording. Just because a lot of people share your opinion, doesn't mean you're right. Edward Scissorfingers, Mfahad hands. Toilet seat up or down? No. Toilet **lid*** down. When the rare opportunity arises, I sometimes like to tell people that I think all cars should have built-in toilets that drain out onto the road. This is obviously preposterous. For one small solution it spawns 100 more problems. I don't truly believe it, but oh my god, it spawns hilarious conversations, and I will stand up for car toilets until I die. I argue for it so passionately, have friends who think this is a genuine belief of mine. Videos showing dogs who've torn up things in your house or yard aren't cute. Your dog needs something: exercise, socialization, stimulation, etc. And for goodness sake, trim their claws and brush their teeth so their breath doesn't stink. Now you see me too infuriates me to no end. It should have been called Now You Don't. The Terminator is a love story. Everything we think we know about Captain Kirk is wrong. Constantly sleeping with women, false. He had only a small number of flings in the show. It was not a prevalent thing. Riker was far more prolific. Breaking the rules all the time, false. Kirk was a strict, by-the-book military man who broke regs only in extreme circumstances. Shatner overacts, mostly false 99% of the time. He plays Kirk totally straight. There are a small number of wild moments on the show where Shatner plays it big, and those moments have become famous. However, they are the exception, not the norm. I really like the live-action Scooby-Doo, 2002. It has funny jokes, a decent cast, and is entertaining for the family. Sure, it's not an Oscar-winning movie, but people hate on this movie more than it deserves. I'm an adult. I can cook whatever food I want for Thanksgiving. Last year we had ribs from my smoker and they were better than any turkey. Hot dogs and hot dog buns should be sold in packs of 8. Most every brand of hot dogs I see on the shelf sells in packs of 10, and it pisses me off. They sell buns in packs of 8, which means unless I buy 40 fucking hot dogs and buns, I have to either have leftover buns or leftover hot dogs. There is a conspiracy against me by a shadowy cabal to drive me insane by always making sure the screwdriver I find is never the kind I need at that moment. The most upvoted obscure or unpopular opinions on Reddit are in fact the most common and popular opinions available, including this one. Frozen hot chocolate is not a thing. It's either hot chocolate or frozen chocolate. It can't be frozen and hot. TV should not go above a fireplace. New York writers were the ones who didn't vote for Griffey Jr. for the Hall of Fame. There were 2 Yankees coming up for votes in the next couple years, Jeter and Rivera, and they wanted one of them to be the first unanimous member of the Hall of Fame. Country music attracts tornadoes. Most screen actors shouldn't be voice actors. Most of the time they suck at it, and they are only there because they are a famous name, and because the film industry takes animation less seriously. Even worse if it's a non-acting celebrity providing the voice work. DNA testing like Ancestry.com is weird, and if anyone's gonna test my DNA and add it to a database, they should pay me, not the other way around. Disabled people are not an inspiration or someone to pity because they are living their lives. And disabled people are always second to abled people in the world, and most abled people only care when it directly affects them, or it is forced in their face. Not to sound too tinfoil hat, but virtual assistant devices, like Alexa, are strange, and I do not trust them at all. It's like bugging your own house. It requires putting too much faith in corporations, like Amazon, to not elicit as much data as they want from you. Yes, I know they already have a lot W/O a device. This is for folks who work in it. I'm not good with technology. Is not an excuse to not even try to learn to use the tools provided for you to do your job. You didn't tell them that in the interview. Can you imagine a carpenter out here talking about "I'm just not good with hammers"? The word hero is overused and has no meaning anymore. Most of the time it's applied to people who are just doing their jobs. I think there should be a separate compartment in the center of the washer and or dryer for socks. Vanilla is not a synonym for boring. My truth has nothing to do with the truth. It's called an opinion. Stop trying to make your opinion more than an opinion.